Are you gonna eat this?
No, you can have it if you want it. What's the matter?
I don't eat meat.
How can you be a vegetarian? You're a bum. You're begging for food. You don't eat
I'll
meat?
take the onions. It's cool.
I'm here with Ashley Cahill, the writer, director, star, produced pretty much everything on the new film Charm. Ashley, what is Charm all about?
It's about a guy in New York City who got tired of how gentrified New York was, particularly the Lower East Side and downtown, and decided that the best way to make it hip and cool like the 80s and 70s would be to go on a murdering spree, which would make the newspapers and people discuss how violent it's become again, and so therefore the wealthier people would move out and artists and bohemians and drug addicts would move back in, and he's basically trying to recreate the 80s and 70s. The irony is, of course, that he wasn't around in those days, so he's still just fantasizing of that era. So it's a satire on modern New York and hipsters. Right now we're outside Olivia's apartment. I don't know if you can hear this, probably not on the terrible mic of yours, but she's listening to some terrible, terrible music like MGMT or Kings of Leon, something awful like that. Boy, if I could kill any band in the world, it would definitely be the Kings of Leon.
I'm almost terrified to ask, but how did you come up with this story?
You know what? I'm not absolutely sure. I lived in New York for a year, and I'm one of the people he would want to kill. So I don't want to, I don't want to say like, oh, I'm above them. But I lived in New York for a year, and I really loved it. But I did think, gee, it's a little antiseptic around here, isn't it? Like, it is a little bit bland or a little safe. Where's the graffiti gone? Don't get me wrong, I don't want to be mugged in the middle of the night. I liked being able to walk home from bars at 3 in the morning and feel completely safe. But I thought something was missing.
Ashley, were you ever worried that the audience would not be able to get on board with your main character?
Yes, I was actually worried about that, and that was an issue. Early, when I first thought, oh, should I do this role? We did it all a little bit more like De Niro-y, a little bit more, he had a chip on his shoulder. And I thought, make him a bit more like me, actually. And I thought, okay. And I went the more Malcolm McDowell route. Like Malcolm McDowell in Clockwork Orange or in If is very, very likable, but particularly in Clockwork Orange, he's a horrible, awful human being, terrible sociopath, but he's very likable because he's charming. And I thought, okay, that's the key. Like, this guy needs to be charming and he needs to be funny and he needs to make light of it, tongue in cheek. Yeah, he just murdered someone, but he's kind of making it jokey, so you kind of feel desensitized to it. I have to be honest, these are probably the greatest meatballs I've ever tasted in my life. No kidding.